This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening. Thank you for being with us tonight. A group of grade 5 students from Winnipeg's St. John's Ravenscourt School are recovering tonight after a field trip this morning turned into a nightmare. The walkway they were on at the Fort Gibraltar historic site partially collapsed, throwing many of them to the ground. Alana Cole reports.
17 kids aged 10 and 11 years old rushed to hospital. These parents outside the children's emergency trying to find out what happened and if their child is one of the injured.
My son is not here. They said it might be in the school, so I'm going to go to the school and just see if he's there, and then I'll find out everything. Like how it is happened, and I was just worried about all the kids. Just make sure all the kids are okay.
Emergency officials say they were called just before 10 this morning when children fell from a structure. This is what the area inside Fort Gibraltar looked like from above this afternoon. Officials say the fall somewhere between 4 to 5 meters. Dr. Karen Grip is medical director of the Children's Hospital Emergency Department.
Could have been so much worse.
Grip says most of the injuries were orthopedic. For example, broken bones, but none life-threatening.
All we heard was that there was a fall from 15 to 20 feet. There was a wooden structure that fell, and some children fell. Some children fell directly, and there were also some children who slid down on the structure.
She says one child is being admitted to hospital for observation and will require an orthopedic surgery. The rest either have been discharged or will likely be today. Some are still waiting for X-ray or CT scan results. One adult was taken to hospital and is in stable condition. Some surgeries were delayed to make sure there was enough room if needed. A statement from the school says students who didn't need to go to hospital went back to the school where faculty, staff, and counselors were caring for them until their families could pick them up. Alana Cole, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A Calgary mining company wants to drill thousands of wells in southeast Manitoba to extract high-quality silica sand. CO Silica is seeking environmental approval to drill up to 7,000 wells over the next 24 years. It wants to remove up to 33 million tons of sand to make solar panels. The sand will come from an aquifer 50 meters below the ground, but some people east of Winnipeg fear the operation could compromise their drinking water.
Ethically, this project shouldn't even be considered. It is taking place directly in the only freshwater drinking source for southeast Manitoba.
CO Silica says it will only drill where property owners allow the activity. Some residential school survivors are chasing closure. That was the theme of a banquet that was held for survivors tonight from Garden Hill First Nation. Over 200 survivors will visit the sites of 7 former residential schools, part of the Children Chasing Closure program.
We have a lot of problems in our communities, and in order for us to have closure, any First Nation, we got to go right to the root, and this is one of the roots that we need to fix.
With many survivors living in Winnipeg now, the event was also a chance for people to reconnect. A Manitoba First Nation is rethinking its relationship with the Roman Catholic Church. It comes after a 48-year-old priest was charged with sexually assaulting an 8-year-old girl. And investigators believe there may be more victims. CBC's Josh Crabb brings us the latest.
The chief of Little Grand Rapids First Nation is calling on the Roman Catholic Church to leave the community. It comes after the priest of St. John the Evangelist Roman Catholic Church, Father Arul Savari, was charged with sexually assaulting an 8-year-old girl. RCMP say it happened here in Little Grand Rapids, a remote community in eastern Manitoba. Officers say the girl was touched inappropriately while helping clean the church. 48-year-old Savari has been charged with 5 offenses and remains in custody. Little Grand Rapids Chief Oliver Owen says this incident has some people questioning the church's role in the community.
There's shock in the community right now. I had some of the community members came to see me this morning, and one of the things they're saying is not to allow the church to do any more in the community.
The Archdiocese of St. Boniface, which runs the parish in Little Grand Rapids, hasn't said if the church will keep a presence in the community. Southern Chiefs Organization Grand Chief Jerry Daniels says if leadership from Little Grand Rapids wants the church removed from the community, the church should listen. He says other First Nations communities may be examining their relationship with the church.
I think they need to take a good look at the nature of the relationship. How is it benefiting our communities? And I know that there's some important work that happens with the Catholic Church and others, but we have to really evaluate whether or not that needs to continue or not.
The RCMP thinks there may be more victims with connections to the religious community in Little Grand Rapids and nearby Pungassi First Nation. The Mounties say no further charges have been laid. They're still investigating. Josh Crabb, CBC News, Winnipeg.
The Winnipeg Foundation will give almost $1 million to fund the city's downtown public washroom for 4 years. That means the site can keep its doors open 16 hours per day, up from the current 10 hours. The Mama Wichita Center runs peer support services at the washroom. They'd like to see it open 24 hours a day, but have safety concerns for staff and users.
Things go sideways. Is there a safe place for somebody to retreat to? Is there appropriate CCTV availability inside to capture, that, or to be able to people to monitor appropriately?
The city says the washroom sees between 3,000 and 5,000 visits per month. And Brandon Police Chief Wayne Balkin has announced his retirement. Balkin has been with the Brandon Police Service for over 30 years and has been chief since 2017. He says the decision to retire was not easy. Balkin's last day is June the 23rd. As we head to break, here is a look at our city from the water. Meteorologist John Sauter is in next with his hot 7-day forecast. Stay with us.
This weather update is brought to you by Capital Ford Lincoln. The trade and upgrade event is on now.
Well, certainly a much quieter day today weather-wise than what we saw on Tuesday. Thing is, Thursday looks like it'll be a repeat of Tuesday. So we are going to be back into a situation where we'll start to see some afternoon showers and thunderstorms, maybe even earlier in the day, west of the Red River Valley. Now, this is energy moving up from North Dakota into southern Manitoba, bringing with it a very humid air mass. So in the afternoon, we start to see some hit and miss showers, possibly a thunderstorm. There's not a lot of organization here because of a lack of a cold front or something to kind of get things going. Over in Saskatchewan, there is lift, so it'll be much more active, but across southern Manitoba, we'll see some afternoon showers or storms. And then as we get into Friday, it's a sunny, hot day. West of the Red River Valley is where we have a higher chance of some more showers on Friday. So you look at the provincial forecast, we're already at 19 by about 8 in the morning, and then we're all the way to 28 with a chance of some storms in through the afternoon and warmer weather up to the north as well. Long range looks like this. We're into the 30s by Friday. Hold on to those warm temperatures through the weekend and on into early next week with more storms on the way on Tuesday.
Thank you, John. That's your late news for this Wednesday. Thank you for being with us tonight. We're back again tomorrow at 6 and 11. Have a great night.